All my prayer moments in my recent 8-day retreat with Father Mon Bautista, S.J., were significant. But I feel that the key moment which shed light to the other prayer moments and to my whole retreat, for that matter, happened on day 4. As I knelt before the Blessed Sacrament in one of the chapels of the Cenacle Retreat House, I begged Jesus to allow me to enter his heart so that I could fall more and more in love with him and love as he loves. I was moved as I was surprised to hear him say, "You have my heart. That's why you can love as I love and trust as I trust. Yes, I have given you my heart. You love with my heart." People may think it was pure imagination, but Jesus' words recurred throughout my retreat. It was the joy of truly falling in love with God. So, what does all that have to do with the Feast of Christ the King, which marks the end of the liturgical year? Through the Feast of Christ the King, the Church reminds us that one day the reign of God will be fully realized. What Marie Eugenie professed in her credo, "I believe in a truly Christian society where God, though invisible, reigns everywhere and is preferred to everything." And in the words of St. Paul in his letter to the Corinthians, "Then the end will come when Christ delivers the kingdom to God the Father, after having destroyed every rule, authority, and power. For he must reign and put all the enemies under his feet. The last enemy to be destroyed will be death. From then on, God will be all in all." Does this mean anything for ordinary persons like us, who experience multiple crises in the world today? The pork barrel scam allegedly involving the leaders of the country, killings everywhere, natural disasters and calamities, same-sex marriage, recession, men and women enslaved by wealth and technology. Some of us might begin to think that the world is indeed coming to its end. This thought generates much fear and tension and is usually associated with the Feast of Christ the King. Is it possible to see these events from the vantage point of faith, as Saint Marie Eugenie would have it? Is it possible that the end times are not yet imminent, but that God allows these tragic events to happen to awaken us to the truth of what we have become? Might these crises not God's way of purifying our way of loving before he finally comes in his glory? The old man, the old woman in us, the cheater, the infidel, the know-it-all technology expert, the controller, the amasser of wealth, while everyone else suffers from poverty and lack of basic services, is still very much alive. God finds it very hard to reign in us because someone or something else sits in the throne of our hearts. We need to put on Christ. We need conversion. And this is what Saint Marie Eugenie calls passion for God and passion for persons. This is the new that has been set in motion by Christ's resurrection and the outpouring of the Spirit in Pentecost. If we believe that we are moving together towards the time of fulfillment, why fear the end times? Why fear the coming of Christ the King? If we have spent our life in this world trying to respond to his love, assuming and owning his heart, especially his heart for the poor and the marginalized, and loving against all odds like Jesus, Would it not be such a glorious thing to meet Him, the greatest love of our life? As Advent ushers us into the new church year, can we reflect with Saint Marie Eugenie on this passion for God and passion for persons? How in love are we with persons so that people really see God reigning in our homes, our social life, our education, our political and economic systems, even now? Christ came to inaugurate the kingdom, and we have been commissioned to enflesh it in our lives and to share it with the world until He comes again. Wishing you a delightful adventure with God this Advent season. Good morning.